All right. Welcome to Team Rise and Grind's weekly call. Lindsay Bauer is our guest tonight, and she is going to tell us all about Asana. But Lindsay, first tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I have been a Beachbody coach for just over 3 years, I think, but I didn't really do anything. Maybe the first year or so, I was just kind of discount coach. And then T25 came out and I got a couple of checks because that program was so popular. And I'm like, oh, that was really easy. And so my upline is Sarah Try. So I asked her how I could do more so that I could make a little bit more money. And so now I'm a 1-star diamond coach, approaching 2-star and I've been pushing for that for a while. Just hasn't happened yet. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I do this pretty much full time. I'm home. And, so yeah.
I love it. I love that you pointed out that you were a discount coach for the first year, because we have a lot of discount coaches on our team that I know would like to do more. So I like that you pointed that out. I appreciate that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let you get started.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about Asana, and Asana is just like a program that I use to organize my business, and I pretty much do everything in Asana. My customer list is in there. My to-do list for every day, like my activity that I do during my power hour, is in there. I use it for scheduling, not scheduling posts, but like I create all my post document, my content is in there. So I can kind of plan my month around like my challenge groups and all of that. So I'll just dive right in and show you what it looks like. Let's see, I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully this will work. So you can see my screen. Yes. Hopefully you can see that. So in here, like I think the posting thing was what I was going to kind of focus mostly on, but so I'll kind of show you that first. But hopefully you can, I don't know, it's not really populating. Okay, there it is. So when you first go in, it shows you as a list, but I don't like that. So I switch it to calendar because I want to see what I have scheduled. So I'll go in during some of my work hours and I'll just start creating posts and putting them in here, because I try to post, 3 to 5 times a day. And I think for me, I think for a lot of coaches, when we're busy, the first thing we probably don't do is post, or we just come up with something random. And so January 1, I made a deal with myself that I was going to be consistent in my posting. And so I have a theme that I do for the week. So like Monday, I call it Meal Monday, and I share a recipe. And these are recipes, like the content is on my blog for those. Tuesday, I do a Transformation Tuesday, and that might be ones that I find on the Beachbody blog, or they might be people that I know personally. Wednesday, I do a Shakeology Spotlight. I've done one for every Wednesday of this year. Like, I can't believe I've gotten through that many. Thursday, I do Thirsty Thursday, and I do a Shakeology recipe. And then Friday, I was doing Fit Tip Friday, and that kind of fell to the wayside because I just couldn't think of any more tips. But so that's kind of what I do. I create those, and then I'll create other ones on those days. So you can kind of see, like for tomorrow, I have this one listed, challenge group post, and I'm gonna create that post and say, this is your deadline to order. So there's no content in there now, and the reason I know that is because I don't have anyone assigned to it. So if it's just like gray like that, I know I haven't put the content in there. So I have an assistant, and she has access to this, and she does a lot of my posting for me, so I can assign her to post for me, and then she knows like the best times of the days to post. So for tomorrow, I created a motivational post for 7 a.m. and I assigned Amanda. She's my assistant. So if I click on it, it will show you the picture that I'm going to post and my wording. So here's the wording and here's all the hashtags. So all she has to do is save the picture to her phone, log into my Facebook and Instagram, post it for me, and copy and paste the words. So she's not creating the content, I've created it. It just helps me that she can do that for me so I can focus on other things. So like I moved in the last month. So before I moved, I created tons of posts so that I did not fall off the wagon on that. So she could post for me while I was moving and it still looked like I was present on social media. So like if I go back up here, these are ones that have already been done, but I can reuse these, which is really great. If I wanted to post this motivation again, like a year from now, I can click on it and it'll show you what it is. This was the picture that she used in the wording. And I can change the date now to another time. So here's how you put your dates in. So I could move that, from a year from now. So I'd already have a post in there for next year if I wanted to. Just an idea. I've done that a couple times, reused them, but I don't do that too often. So, this is just huge for me, I think, just this posting part, because I can put all my content in here when I feel like writing. So I can sit down in the afternoon and be like, okay, I want to write a challenge group post. I want to promote a sneak peek. And so I have all these things on my calendar, like sneak peek week is going to start here. So back here, I want to create a post about that. Right here, I want to create my group. So that's kind of how I do it. I just start filling in things and then I go back and I type them up. So the ones that have a picture, they've already been completely done. So here's this one for 2 weeks from now. It's already in here. Because I'll sit down and I'll do like 5 or 6 Shakeology spotlights in the afternoon and then just stick them in here. And then I know on Wednesdays those get sent out. So those are all on my blog too. So she'll push them out through my blog, then she'll come out to Asana and she'll copy the wording and she'll put it on Facebook and Instagram for me. So I create the content and she just pushes it out for me. So that is just one way I use Asana and I love it for that. My customer list is in here. So I have customers that I talk to, obviously, every day. I'm talking to people. I've done mine for today, but for tomorrow, I have all these people that I need to talk to. And so this person, I have like notes in here. On September 29th, I put, hey there, we connected through my like page. Thanks for liking it and accepting my friendship. You look like a fun and inspiring person. What do you do for a living? And then after, I just copy and pasted that from what I wrote to her. You don't have to type all that in. See, I've done like September 20th, I checked in with her. On October 30th, I checked in with her. So I don't need to write everything in here because I'm going to go to Facebook before I message her again, and I'm going to review our messages to see what we talked about last time. So then after I talk to her tomorrow, I'm going to type in here, and then I'm going to move her to another date. So she always stays in my loop. So if she's someone who I think she might be ready to buy a challenge group or buy a challenge pack or be in one of my groups, I'll move her just to next week and I'll check in with her next week. So I would just drop her down in here to November 11th. And then she's sitting there waiting for me to talk to the following week. So I just keep moving people. They're constantly in here. If I just scroll through my calendar, you'll see I never have a day that I don't have someone to talk to. So when I go to my power hour, I'm like, I don't have to think, oh, who can I talk to today? I already know there's already going to be at least 10 people in there. So I've started not scheduling on Saturdays or Sundays, which you could just put people in for Tuesday and Thursday if you wanted, and double up and do 20 people instead of 10 or whatever your goal is. Sometimes I do that. I'll work ahead if I have time. Like tomorrow, I could maybe do Wednesday and Thursdays at once. And that way Thursday, I don't have to do any contacts. So that's kind of how I use my customer list. I have emails in here that I share with my team. So you can add your team to it. That's what these are up here. So they have access to they don't have access to my customer list, but they have access to my posting, any of that. And they're welcome to use and copy things. This is just the lead welcome email that I send, and I do that usually on the weekends. Any leads that I got for that week, I'll just copy and paste that and type it. And so my team can use it too if they want. I have challenge group scripts in here. So I have sneak peek scripts in here. So instead of using Hootsuite all the time, I can just do this from my phone because there's an app. So I could be at the library with my kids and be like, oh, I need to post in my challenge group. It's noon. I'll go into Asana. I'll copy and paste my post for that day, and I'll put it in the group. So let me see this challenge group. So this shows you, here's my preseason week 0 posts. They're all going to be in here when I click on this little arrow. So I've got Monday is right here. And all my posts for that day would be in here. I would just copy and paste it and stick it in there. So it's kind of nice that they're by week, and the pictures are all in there too. So I get tired of going out to the back office and trying to find them, or downloading them, or saving the pictures to my computer. I don't have to do that because they're all in here. So I think there was pictures in here before. I don't know where they are. Maybe there isn't any for this one, but so I have tons of different scripts in here, forming scripts, new coach steps, like when I coach, this is where my GSR email is, and what my steps are for that. The other thing I have in here that pops up on my phone every morning is like my task list. Let's see if I can find it. It used to be in here. Was it here this morning? Oh wait, let's go this. I don't know where it is. It's kind of weird. So I have a task list that tells me what I need to do. Oh wait, maybe my tasks, that might be it. Yeah. So yesterday was National Wake Up Call. I can check that off. So here's all my tasks for today, and these are set up as a reoccurring. So I don't have to type these in all the time. They just reoccur like you would in a Google Calendar. 2 new conversations a day. I want at least to have 2. I usually have like 10, but drink my Shakeology, add 2 new people to Facebook and 5 new IG followers. Invite 1 person to the business, 2 invites to the challenge group, post to social media 3 to 5 times a day, workout. I do 300 Instagram likes a day. Check in with my challengers, and then today is Sarah's team call, which obviously I'm missing. So those are just kind of things that I know in my power hour that I'm gonna sit down and do. Now that I have done it for so long, I really don't even need to look at that. I know what I'm supposed to do now. So is there anything you guys have questions on or want to see a little bit more? I know I'm kind of whipping through this fast, so.
I love it. I really love the organizational aspect of it, because it's like we have all these things in our head that we need to be doing, and this kind of unloads it into one place. And I'm glad that you pointed out what those the colored circles, those are your team. So each one represents a different person. And so that they can get in there and see your scripts. I like that. And then I see next to your customer list, you have a little lock. So you can lock certain things, like they don't need access to that. So you lock that. So I'm just trying to make sense of it all. But I had a hard time. There was somebody that did a call on Asana over the summer, and I was super excited about it. And I went on, and I felt kind of overwhelmed, and I didn't know where to start. And so walking us through it like this helps me know where to start.
Yeah. And I think with your customer list, like I know with some people when they start, they like sit down and go through all of Facebook and put every single customer in there. Like that to me is overwhelming. I've just added people in there as I've gotten new people. So when I get new followers, then I'll add them in on my calendar somewhere. And so that way I don't ever lose people. I mean, I'm sure I still do, but it still seems way more efficient than what I was doing before. So
yeah, I like that too, because I have started trying to build my contact list just a week ago on Google Docs like Sarah does. And I felt so overwhelmed because I was trying to go back and add everybody I've talked to. And then I'm not even adding the people I'm talking to now because I was focusing. So I'm going to stop that and I'm just going to start. Yeah, I think that's good. And then, you know, if I have time, I can always go back and add those other people. But, oh gosh, there was something else. Oh, I love that you can reuse your content, because sometimes when we don't know what to post, you know, some days, like today, I had a lot of stuff that came to mind that I could post, but some days I don't know what to post. And so I like that you can go back and look at your previous ones and just reschedule them to go out. I actually heard on a podcast one time that this really successful social media guy, he posts the exact same thing every Monday. And he gets thousands of likes and comments every Monday. And he said that's because we are so social media ADHD that we just don't even, we don't even remember that we saw that stuff. So I like the idea of having it available to reuse. Or some people miss it the first time.
Well, yeah, and like on Facebook, to have to go back and try to find something, like here, it's always saved. And that's why I like, too, when I sit down to write my content, I'm not going to lose it. Like, it's going to be in here. So I've sat down to type something up on Facebook, and the thing went down on me. And I'm like, ugh, I had all that written out, you know? So I like to sit down and have all my thought at once and just type, because I get in this mode to write, and I just want to write them all at the same time. And so I think that's good. And then like with your challenge group posts, a lot of times you're really posting the same thing. You might just be posting a different picture. I like to be able to just hurry up and whip something out like that. Hey, I've got a challenge group coming out. This is what you get, you know? So I can go back and say, when was the last time I posted one, and what did it say? And then I can kind of revamp based on that. I'm not constantly thinking of new material. So
yeah, I really like that. It's a big time saver, because how I have been doing it for the last few months, and I thought that this was working pretty well, but it doesn't work as well as what you're doing, is I was saving my old group, like my October group, and I've removed everybody out of it, and they're all in my new November group. But then I would just go back and copy and paste. So I'd have to have like 2 Facebooks open and copy day 1 and paste it. And then I'd try to tweak it a little bit so it wouldn't be exactly the same. But this way, it would be there. All I have to do is change the date. I mean, I still have to copy paste it, because this does not post for you, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's here, and you can do it from your phone, and you don't have to pull up a document because it's already in here. It takes some time to put it together, and I had my assistant help me do some of it, because I created my own challenge group script, and so I've used that one. And so I gave it to her in a Word document, and she came in here and, you know, copied and pasted everything. So that was one, but then I've also copied other ones in here from like 21 Day Fix and saved all their pictures too. So yeah, I just changed the cover photo of my group and keep going with it. So these are all the posts, like day 15, Monday. Here's your AM post, here's your noon post, here's your PM post. So, and some of them would have a picture, but I don't know why none of these seem to have pictures. So.
And this is completely free, right? There's no charge for Asana, correct?
Right. It's free. You can only add, I think, 15 team members, and then you'd have to pay. But I feel like once my team members start, they create their own anyway, and they just copy and paste mine into theirs if they want to use it. So I really don't need to keep them on here, because they just kind of get their own anyway.
Right.
So I don't know how much it is, you know, to pay for it, but.
Okay. That'd be nice if they eventually added the feature to post for you. Like I use Buffer, and that would be nice if something like if Buffer created, you know, if they could be more like this, or like if the two came together, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, they might do that someday. I just was kind of messing around with it, and I was noticing that I wasn't getting as much engagement on my posts that came from Hootsuite or Buffer. And I think like my challengers figured out, and even though, this is our job and we are trying to be efficient too, I think to them, they're like, oh, well, she doesn't care about me or whatever, like she's got to schedule it, So I've been trying to be better about just doing it out of here. Because I get up at 6, so when I sit down to do my personal development, I just hurry and copy and paste my morning post.
Mm-hmm.
And then, before I go to bed, I do a nightly one. So I just try to remember, and I don't always, but then I check in with them at some point during the day. So
right.
It works pretty good.
Okay, Becky, I'm ready for you to get yours all set up, and I'll start mine, and then I can copy all your stuff.
The thing I had a hard time with was figuring out what I should use. Do I use my tasks? Do I use the calendar? So now that I've seen how Lindsay does it, I know I would use the calendar. That would work best.
Yeah, I don't use that list. It's confusing. So when I go into customer list, it automatically puts it like this, which isn't in order, and they're just random. So if you go to calendar, at least you can see at a glance like what you're doing this month. I didn't like the list at all.
Okay.
Now the app, I will say, on your phone is not as user-friendly, I don't feel like.
Oh, okay. So really the app is just good for like copying and pasting, doing your post.
Yeah, I've done my contacts on it before, but it's not the best. There's a way that you have to sort it. Otherwise it just comes up randomly. You have to sort by due date. It doesn't have the calendar like this, but you can sort it by due date and then it will list it, but it's in a list. It's not like a calendar. So it looks just a little bit different.
Let me ask you this. I have a few challengers that purchased from me back in probably August, and they did really good in August and September, and they've gotten kind of quiet in October. How do you keep track of, usually like if they're not engaging in my group, that's when I know that, okay, I need to check in with them. But you put them on your calendar here, wouldn't you? And so they would automatically pop up for you to check back in with them instead of.
Yep, I never take them off my customer list ever. Even when they become coaches, they stay on my customer list. Now I could create a coach list. I think some people do that so they can check in with their coaches, but I just add them in on this power hour time, and then I check in with them then. So when I go to my customer list, I might have coaches on there too that I'm checking in with. But yeah, definitely any challengers, anybody that's already bought from me, they're on there, and I just keep moving them. I might not have to move them as soon. It might be just once a month that I check in with them.
Okay.
Just say, hey, how's things going? I haven't heard from you in the challenge group, or are you still doing your workout? You're drinking your shakes, and that kind of thing. And I do that too with the for the Shakeology HD. So after they purchase, I'll move them from like 2 weeks from now, so I can remind them, hey, your Shakeology is going to come out. I didn't know if you wanted to continue doing that, and if you do, I would highly consider signing up as a coach, / preferred customer, getting that discount. So I try to get them in before their HD renews. So that's how I schedule them in my calendar then to follow up.
Yeah, I love it.
You'll know that when they fall in there, then you'll know this isn't a new customer. I know what I need to talk to this person about. I feel like every person on my list, I know what I'm talking to them about.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook keeps all your messages, which is super nice. So I just review what I've talked to them about in the past. And, her brother was in the hospital last time. I want to ask her how he's doing. So I'll do that too.
Okay. That's great. Sherry and Debbie, do y'all have any questions? I took some notes, so I'm just going to look over my notes and see if I had any questions. Oh, I saw a little unicorn.
What's the unicorn going across here? What is that?
When you complete a task, it just does that. I completed that I was the guest on Becky's team call.
Okay.
The little rainbow and the unicorn goes across the screen.
Okay. Well, and I apologize. I was having some computer difficulties, so I missed the very beginning of the call. So I'll go back and
I don't think you missed much though, really, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's a lot of coaches. So you can go on YouTube and just search like Asana and Beachbody coaches, and I think you'll find a bunch of things. I never looked at any of them. I figured it out myself, but I know they've been really helpful to other people. So
yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, I really like it. I like that you gave us a look on the inside of yours, because that kind of helps me know what mine is supposed to look like, what it's, I just felt like I didn't know where to start. I think that's probably how a lot of people feel. That I've heard several coaches say, oh, I tried to get into Asana and I just couldn't. I think that's because they couldn't vision what it was supposed to look like.
yeah. And I think you just have to pick one thing and start there. I don't think I even started with my customer list. I started with the posting. I was like, man, it'd be really great to have my content ahead of time. That way when I'm out at the park with the kids, I'm not sitting there typing, because my kids were constantly complaining, you're always on your phone. If it's already typed, then all I have to do is say, oh, it's time to post. I could be swinging them and just copy and paste and put it out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I started, and I thought it saved me a whole bunch of time. And then I kind of added the customer list and the scripts in, just a little bit at a time. You know, that's, sometimes I can get overwhelmed, be like, oh, I got to do all this now, and I don't have time for all that. But if you just one thing at a time, I think it really helps. Just start somewhere. I thought Google Docs was just super confusing, and I was always nervous that I was not doing it right and going to screw up the Excel sheet, and like I was going to miss someone. I don't know. It just really, really confused me. So
Okay.
this was my answer.
Yeah.
When I come up with, I'm Becky, I'm always, it's like one day I have all of this rush of stuff that oh yeah, that would be great to post, and this and that, and I write it down, and that doesn't work out so well, because then I probably have like 6 notepads, because there's one that I left here and one I left over there and stuff like that. So this is where I could put them someplace.
Put an idea down. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, honestly, a lot of my posts that you see during the current week, a lot of times happen the week before. So I'll take a picture of a meal, and then I'll type in Asana that I wanted to, you know, create a post for that meal, and I'll have that picture on my phone, and then I'll upload it to Asana later. So a lot of times my posts this week aren't even real time, but people don't know that because they don't really know what I'm doing. But, you know, a lot of times those things aren't what's really going on. So I always plan ahead. Like when I went to Summit, I planned out like 2 weeks worth of posting, because I knew I was going to be busy at Summit, and I wanted to enjoy it and not sit there and worry about posting. You know, there's a lot of things that happen that are real time that you want to post right then, and that's fine. But I like to have sort of a plan, and I can move them around. So I can say, you know what, I posted 3 times today. I'm not going to post this one today, so I'll move it to the next day, or I'll move it to next week. You know, that's what's really great, is that your content stays there and you're just moving it. And then next week you come and you're like, oh, I have an extra post that I wasn't counting on because last week I didn't need it. So
yeah.
Well, Debbie is just starting out with her coaching business. So we were just discussing yesterday. She's like, I got to find somewhere to put all of this in some place. And, you know, and all I knew was Google Docs, or, you know, Google Drive, or put it over on your Dropbox, you know, something like that. So this is good for her. She can start fresh from here, because we're the coaches under me. We're spending the month working on our like page.
Good. Awesome.
So this will help her come up with post for her like page.
Yep. And I only have like, my weekly themes are the only ones I post on my like page. So my Meal Monday, my assistant will post it to my like page and tag me on that one. But all my other posts, I just post to my regular page. So that's kind of how I do it. Just so I'm making sure I always have something on my like page every day, but that I think most of my content probably goes on my regular page, just because I think more people see it there. But
so you do your Shakeology spotlights on your regular page?
I was, and then I at the beginning of the year, I was doing on my like page and I wasn't getting much traction. So I switched and started doing everything on my regular page. And I ran an ad on my like page, which got me more people. And now I switched back. So my Meal Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Shakeology Spotlight, Thursday, those all go to my like page. And then my assistant tags me. So it's on both. And then all my other posts are on my regular page.
Okay, I remember now what I wanted to ask you, and you referred to it, and I had read this somewhere that, I don't know if it was on our Diamond group or what, but are you one of the coaches that you friend request the people that like your like page, or that are engaging on your like page, I should say?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I sure do. Now I don't do that every day, but occasionally I'll go out to my like page and then just maybe pick 10 of them or something, and then ask them to be my friend. So I haven't gotten in trouble yet. Like I heard sometimes you go to Facebook jail or whatever for requesting too many people. But I think because I don't do it every day, that's kept me in good shape. So I was doing it every day, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it on Thursdays and go out. So because I had so many people for a while that I was like, I can't talk to that many people.
Right.
So I've kind of slowed it down. But I've been running the same ad since July 11th, like right before we left for Summit. And I've just been using the one, and it doesn't have anything to do with Beachbody. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I've got over 5,000 likes on that one. So
great.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to start doing that. I remember there was a group of coaches that are doing that and having success with it. So I think the ones that are liking my stuff regularly, I'm going to go ahead and start with them and just friend request them. And I always go in, and the ones that are sitting out there for about 3 or 4 days, if they have not accepted my friend request, then I remove it. I think that's how you get Facebook jail or whatever, is if you have too many open friend requests out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't even done that. I don't even know where to find that anymore. So I probably need to go out and look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to go up to the friend request, and it says find friends, and you click on that, and it'll show you your outstanding friend requests.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that tomorrow. I'd be anxious to see how many I have.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and showing us the inside view of your Asana. And I think it's going to help us a lot. I think there are some coaches on our team that are going to watch this and feel encouraged that, all of this stuff that we're constantly thinking, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. It gives us a place to kind of brain dump all of that and get started.
Yeah. Well, if you ever have any questions, feel free to send me a message.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for calling in, and everybody have a great night.
All right. You too.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.